We've got some breaking news. Will Norwegian Cruise Line fold, or will it survive the pandemic? Well, ahoy there, cruisers. We're Cruise with Ben and David. I'm Ben with the Norwegian news. Today, Norwegian has warned investors that it might be forced to go out of business. As you know, guys, we absolutely love Norwegian Cruise Line. They're such a fun and fantastic cruise line. Basically, its accounting firm has substantial doubt about Norwegian's ability to continue as a going concern because of the COVID-19 pandemic. As you know, guys, the coronavirus pandemic has wreaked absolute havoc across the travel industry and especially cruise because of all of the negative news that the media has been really focusing on. Cruising is at a standstill at the moment across the world since March. Norwegian has grounded its 28 ship fleet to help contain the spread of the virus. Its current shutdown lasts through till at least June the 30th, but we can see that being pushed even further back, wreaking more havoc on this cruise line. Norwegian Cruise Line is the smallest of the three major publicly traded cruise companies, the other being Royal Caribbean and Carnival Cruise Line, and it's really concerned about whether it will be able to find financing to help them survive this situation, a prolonged situation without any cash revenue coming in. It's awful, guys. It's wreaking havoc just across the world. After these announcements were made, shares across the company have fell more than 10% in pre-market trading, so that's not good either. Oh, I wish we could bring you better news, guys. The company also announced it expects to report a loss for the quarter ending March 31st and on the year, which isn't really surprising considering this situation. There's really tight credit markets at the moment, and obviously the economic toll of COVID-19 is remaining unclear, as we don't know when this is going to end. And obviously, as with all cruise lines, Norwegian have been left out of a US 2.3 trillion package that US lawmakers have adopted to support the economy and provide aid to troubled companies. Well, because Norwegian, like all other cruise lines, fly a flag of convenience, meaning they are not based in the UK, they're based in other countries such as Panama, the Bahamas and Valletta. So because they're offshore based and not paying the full US tax, they can't get any of this money, and rightly so, because they're not US companies. So Norwegian have said the effect on the ability or desire of people to travel, including on cruises, is expected to continue to impact our guests, our results, operations, outlook, plans, growth, reputation, cash flows and demand for voyages and share price. These factors have raised substantial doubt about the company's ability to continue as a going concern. Gosh, guys, this is really awful. So what has Norwegian Cruise Line so far been doing to save money? Well, most of its staff are now working 4 days a week across the world in the offices in Miami and international offices, many with 20% pay cuts. They've furloughed approximately 20% of their workforce, and they're running go ships with minimum crew and resources, so trying to spend as little money as possible on board those ships, which are just sailing about the world with nowhere to go or no passengers to take. So have they received any money so far? Well, recently they hired investment bank Goldman Sachs Group to explore financing options that could include the sale of a stake in the company. Just recently, over the last few days, L. Catterton, a private equity fund, has invested $400 million into the Norwegian corporation. And in March, it fully drew down an $875 million revolving credit facility and a separate $675 million revolving credit line to keep it going. The company, basically at the end of December last year, said they have roughly $6 billion in long-term debt. So obviously this debt is for all of the ships that they run, for all of the equipment on board. And as I said, the ships themselves cost a lot of money to create and build and keep going. But there is a little bit of glimmer of light. Companies with this kind of dire outlook can turn things around and survive. It often involves going through bankruptcy to shed debt and other liabilities in order to do so. So we've seen lots of airlines do this in the past, go into Chapter 11 and then sort themselves out. But on the front of Norwegian, we have some other Norwegian news, which is just ridiculous, guys. The Norwegian Epic broke CDC protocols after the Norwegian Escape was seen doing the same thing last Thursday. What they've been doing is holding big deck parties with all of the crew with no social distancing. So the Norwegian Epic, this incident happened just this week in Miami Port, and there was pictures with hundreds of crew members partying on the deck. Total violation of the Centre for Disease Control and Prevention, the CDC, which directly specifies that crew members must observe at least a distance apart of 6 feet and wear masks whilst outside of their private cabins. And whilst they're not working, they should be in their cabins. As I said, a similar party was held on the Norwegian Escape last Thursday. One crew member, a sound technician employed by Norwegian, allegedly said that Norwegian does not care about the CDC. It's really awful. Also, crew on board the Norwegian Escape have claimed they are being forced to sleep in the same cabin as people from other ships, despite there being empty rooms. They claimed they had not been granted permission to use single crew cabins because housekeeping has already cleaned those cabins. Guys, again, the CDC very clearly says that all crew members should have their own cabin with balconies if possible to help psychological stress. So what do you think? What do you think about this whole situation? First of all, with maybe Norwegian going under. We think it's an awful thing, guys. We absolutely love Norwegian Cruise Lines. They are one of our favourite cruise lines to travel with, and we would be absolutely gutted if they were to fold. Obviously, this is just all early days. We don't want them to fold. But what do you think? And about the parties on board, we think that's completely reckless and completely not needed. Really, Norwegian need to come down on the crew and say this shouldn't happen. So what can we do as a community to help the cruise lines and Norwegian Cruise Line? Well, we need to keep talking about how good cruise is, keep it positive, because all of this negativity is all new. We know how clean cruise ships are. Obviously, viruses do spread on board, but they spread absolutely everywhere as well, guys. It's not just cruises. Book future cruises, don't let the situation stop you, and instead of cancelling, use the benefits and the future cruise credits to book a new cruise. Honestly, we need to keep supporting cruise as much as we can. It's a super tough time, but guys, we're all in this together and we will get through it. Fingers crossed Norwegian can pull through this as well as all of the other cruise lines. We really, really do not want to see any cruise line go under because of this. It's just an awful situation. Press that subscribe button and hit the bell button so you're notified when we upload a brand new video. We're going to be bringing you all of the latest news as soon as it happens. This press release has just came out just an hour ago, and we're going to have this video up for you literally an hour later. So make sure you hit that subscribe button. And again, do tell us what you think in the comment section below. We absolutely love to hear from you. Thanks again to all of our patrons. We super appreciate you guys. You get extra videos, extra behind the scenes footage, as well as things like a podcast every 2 weeks. You can find out about becoming a patron in the description section below. The captain of the week is Alex. Ahoy, Alex. So that's it till next time, guys. Happy cruising. Fingers crossed for a good outlook for Norwegian Cruise Line. Bye.